Today's video is going to be a fun one because we are talking about new fragrances I've added to my collection and a few that have been taken away. If you're interested in seeing what I picked up, then just keep watching. Before we get into the video, I do want to quickly introduce myself for those of you who may be new here. My name is Ayesha. I make videos about fragrance, beauty, luxury, and lifestyle. If those are things you're interested in, please consider subscribing. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So I have 5 new fragrances that I picked up that I want to share with you, and I also have some fragrances that I got rid of that we will talk briefly about. Now, I did some shopping, you know, I was doing really well, and then Black Friday happened and I was still doing really well, and then Cyber Monday happened and I must have lost my mind. So this is going to be part 1 of 2. So in today's video, I'm going to show you what I have, but I'm still waiting on some to come in, and I did not want to wait anymore because I was ready to open these packages. Plus, because I already have 5 here to share with you guys, I didn't want this video to be super long, so I figured I might as well split it into 2 videos. We love hauls anyway, right? So in this video will be the one that I'm sharing with you, the new items, and then ones that left my collection. And then in the next part 2 of this video, it'll just be a haul. So some of these fragrances were blind buys, yes, and some were not. So let's get into it. So I'm going to start with the only fragrance in this haul that I have been wearing, and that's just because I tested it out for a video, and I believe that video went live before this one, so if you have not seen it yet, check it out. But this is from Fragrance du Bois, and this is Minuit et Demi. Now, I don't have the box here with me because I put it away, so definitely check out that video so you can see the full presentation of it. It is beautiful. If you want to know my full thoughts on this one, definitely check it out. But this is the collaboration that Fragrance du Bois did with the beautiful Demi Rawling here on YouTube. Y'all all know who she is. I don't even need to introduce that. But the fragrance itself, I really like. It is spicy. It is sweet, sort of, but not super sweet. It has a caramel note to it, I believe. And then the spiciness is also complemented by tobacco and coffee. And it's quite beautiful, quite interesting. Definitely think it's a unisex scent. I do not want to talk too much about it because, like I said, I have a whole video on this and I want y'all to watch that. So check that video out if you want to know more, but I definitely felt like it needed to be included in this haul because I know not all of y'all watch my single fragrance reviews, and so I like to include those in the hauls as well, just so you know, you guys can know about those as well. So this is Minuit et Demi. So this next fragrance I picked up kind of on a whim. This is Tom Ford Lavender Extreme. So got a little story. I was shopping at the outlet mall and I went in the cosmetic store, which I always do just to check out their Tom Ford section, and I saw they had Lavender Extreme. Now, I have smelled Lavender Extreme before, like at Nordstrom and all, like just passing through the Tom Ford section. I would give it a smell, but I was never impressed by it. Now, mind you, I never sprayed it on my skin. So that day I saw in the cosmetic outlet, I asked the salesperson how much it was, and I believe, actually I have my receipt. So this fragrance retails for $368, and after all the discounts they had going, it came up to be $165.50. So at that price, I was like, well, let me smell it again. Let me spray it on my hand. So I sprayed it on my hand, walked around, did all the shopping that I needed to do in the other parts of the outlet, and I could not get this fragrance off my mind. It was on my hand. I just really loved the way it smelled on my skin. So I went back, picked it up. They also had Tuberose New, which I do also like, but I think that one smells too similar to another fragrance I have. So I decided to go with Lavender Extreme. And at the end of this video, I'll have more information on why I felt like this would be a nice addition to my collection. Hint, hint. Anyway, let's open this baby up. Shiny silver box and shiny, shiny bottle. Now, I'm not gonna lie. When I initially asked the salesperson to spray this on my hand, I was thinking that I may get it for my husband, but I actually ended up liking it for myself. I do think this is quite unisex. It is lavender, obviously. But let's spray it on this paper to remind myself. Okay, so it starts out quite lavender, quite fresh, aromatic, a little bit soapy almost. And there is something, what is it? I don't know if it's like eucalyptus in this. There's something very like spa-like about this in addition to the lavender. It smells very clean, fresh type lavender. To me, this is not sleepy time lavender. This is more of fresh green aromatic lavender. But as this dries down, that really starts to mellow out, and I think that's when I fell in love with it. Because at first I did think that it smelled too masculine, but as I walked around with it and it played on my skin, I felt like, I don't know if vanilla is a note in this, but something definitely more sweet came out in this fragrance and smelled like vanilla. That just rounded it out a lot more for me. So I cannot wait to actually wear this, because like I said, I've only worn this on my hand for one day, and I was mesmerized by it as I was walking around picking out clothes and trying on clothes. I just kept smelling it and thinking, why have I not given this a second thought before? It's actually really, really pretty. Yeah, it's already starting to dry down now, and it's getting a little sweeter and not powdery, but kind of powdery. Like, it smells like it's getting slightly powdery, but I don't want to say that because I know when people hear powdery, they automatically think like super powdery, and that's not it. Not baby powdery at all, just like slightly more like sweet powdery. Yeah, it's really gorgeous, so I cannot wait to wear this. I'm really hoping that once I wear it like all over my body that it works for me. But if not, I will be giving it to my husband if I end up thinking it's still too masculine. But like I said, when I was wearing it at the outlet mall that day, I was really enjoying it. So I'm thinking this is going to be a winner. So again, that was Lavender Extreme. Next up, I have a fragrance that was actually sent to me, and this is from the brand called Umasi. So thank you to Umasi for sending this to me. The fragrance name is called Into Me. They only have 2 fragrances right now. So they have Into Me for men and Into Me for women. So this is the women's version. They also sent me the men's version, which I gave to my husband. And today was his first time wearing it. He did say he liked it out of the bottle, but like I said, today was his first time wearing it. So I'll have to get more information when he gets home. But that one does smell very like fresh, clean type fragrance, slightly aquatic. But I'm not super familiar with it because honestly, when I smelled it, I knew it was too masculine for me. So I immediately gave it to him, and it was his first time wearing it today. So I don't have more information on that one, but it did smell nice to me, just not something I would wear. So this is the women's. I have smelled it, but I have not worn it. Y'all know I try not to wear my fragrances until I haul them. So this is what the bottle looks like. Quite pretty. And that's what it looks like. Now this company is a newer company. They're just, I think they launched before, but now they have relaunched, and it is a black owned company. I believe they are Nigerian. I believe the owner is Nigerian. Hopefully that's correct. But yeah, so when they reached out to me, I was excited to be able to try a fragrance from them. So let's sniff this together. This is so sweet smelling. So it's sweet fruity. I can't put my finger on the type of fruit that is in here, but it almost smells like a tropical fruit, kind of like mango, but not really. Maybe it's guava. It smells really good. So it's sweet, it's a little bit zesty, it's quite fresh and smells kind of sparkling in my opinion. And then I also feel like it's a little bit musky as well. I really like this. Like I said, I smelled it before. I have not worn it, so I knew I liked it. I do think that this will be better suited to spring, summer. But I am going to wear it some because I want to know like what I really think about it. At first sniff, it is very beautiful, very refreshing, and just really feminine smelling in my opinion. It's really nice. Smells very well done, does not smell cheap at all. And I really like the bottle as well. It's quite heavy. The top is nice and substantial. And I just think they did a really good job with this. And especially the fragrance inside, not just the packaging, but the fragrance inside. Yeah, it smells really good. So I can't wait to actually wear this one. I'll have to let y'all know in the future, probably on Instagram or something, or maybe in a favorites video, who knows. I'm not sure how it'll work out for me. But make sure you're following me on Instagram. So I like to update you guys in stories about stuff like this all the time. So that is Umasi Into You. So the next fragrance that I have is one that I have wanted forever. I've wanted to get my nose on it, and you guys have heard me talk about this before. This is from Xerjoff from the Cosmopolitan line. It is Lyra. Like, I'm so late on this. So late to hop on this bandwagon. I do have a dupe for Lyra that I really love, so I'm hoping that this one is even better. And I wanted to tell you guys, the reason I have held off on this so long is quite shallow. I do not like the way the 100 ml bottle of this looks. And I know that sounds stupid, but I had a dupe, which I love the way that smelled. So I didn't really feel the need to get this one, especially when I didn't like the bottle and it's expensive. So if something is expensive, I prefer to have a nice bottle. Anyway, so I picked up the 30 ml bottle, which to me looks a lot better. I don't like the pictures on the bottles. That's just personal preference, but just FYI, that's why I don't like the large bottle. But I am so happy to finally smell this. So that's what it looks like. This is super popular. Pretty much everybody, it seems, on YouTube or all the people in my comments all own it. So I'm sure it's gonna be good. I just hope it's unique enough. So let's smell it. So excited. Okay, it smells really good. It smells like my dupe. Just at first sniff, but it does smell really good. So definitely lemon cookie type of scent. Now the lemon is quite fresh and zingy in this, but then you got the sweetness from the cookie. That smells really good. Also smell like there is some like caramel in here. This is really delicious smelling. Very delicious. Now, the dupe that I have is, what is it? Oh, it's from Fragranza and it's called Limone y Vaniglia. Now, of course, I haven't worn Lyra, and so I don't know about performance or anything like that, but just comparing the smell difference between the two just at first sniff, Lyra definitely smells more well blended. It also smells lighter and airier. So to me, Limone y Vaniglia smells a lot more dense and more foody. This definitely still smells foody, but the Limone y Vaniglia seems like a lot more. So if you've ever tried Limone y Vaniglia and didn't like it, that doesn't mean that you may not like Lyra too. Because I know sometimes with the foodie scents, if they're too much, they don't work for a lot of people. This one I think is light enough, just smelling it on here anyway. It's light enough and it's so well blended that I think even if you're not the biggest foodie fragrance lover, you may like this if you like the notes in it. It's really good, y'all. It smells like a lemon cookie. It's so good. I like this. I cannot wait to wear this. So this is Lyra from Xerjoff. And the last fragrance that I picked up is one that I fell in love with at first sniff. So this fragrance I bought a tester of. So let's open it up. And this is the infamous Oud for Greatness from Initio. Yes. So I recently found out that our local Neiman Marcus now carries Initio fragrances. They did not before. And so I went in there and sniffed quite a few from Initio. And of course I had to sniff Oud for Greatness, and I loved it. But I was not ready to buy it. At that point, I was trying not to buy any fragrances, and I think I did really well because they were running a sale at that point. So I was like this close to purchasing it, and then I talked myself out of it. But I could not get the fragrance off my mind, so here we are. Now, I did find this for a really great deal from fragrancebuy.ca. I'm not affiliated with them. I wish I was, but I buy so much stuff from them, and I got this for a really good deal. It's a tester bottle, but I think I paid around $2.40 for this, and this retails for $3.75. So still, it was expensive, but when you look at the retail price, it was a big discount. On the back, because it is a tester, it does have this information here, but that does not bother me. As long as it has a top, I'm good. So all the other packaging on it is the same. The only difference in the packaging is you don't get the pretty box from Initio, and then it has the notes here on the back. So I didn't read those notes. Y'all know I like to do these sniff tests off like how I feel about them. I don't like to be influenced by looking at the notes because, you know, when you look at the notes, you smell different things. That's just my opinion, but yeah. So like I said, I have smelled this before, but I have never worn it. So, oh gosh, it's that saffron. It is sweet oud and saffron mix. And then you also get some spices in there as well. Like it smells like cinnamon is in this. I'm not sure if cinnamon is the spice, but that's what it smells like. Cinnamon, saffron, oud, but the smoothest oud you can think of. And this is a sweeter fragrance. Now this gets compared to Baccarat Rouge 540. Not saying that it's a dupe or anything like that, but people say it has that same DNA. And I can get what they're saying because it does smell somewhat similar. I think the saffron is what makes it smell similar to BR 540, but this fragrance is not the same. This one is definitely thicker, more dense, heavier. It is gorgeous. It's more complex for sure. This is gorgeous. I love the smell of this. Now you guys know I own a dupe for this from Lattafa. So if you would like to see a comparison of the two, I definitely will do that for you. I can't do it right at this moment because I need to be able to really wear this and experience this. I'm not just gonna go off smell from the bottle, but I will do that for you if you are interested because they are similar. I will go ahead and say that. But other than that, I don't wanna make any statements about it because this is just me sniffing this fragrance. And this fragrance alone though, it's just beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. I love it. I love the smell of this. I cannot wait to wear this. I've wanted this since I smelled it, I've wanted it. I couldn't get it off my mind, so I finally did it. Yes. So those are the fragrances I picked up. I am going to share with you some fragrances I got rid of. So let's go ahead and get into those. All right, so I had to pull up my Mercari to see what I sold. All of the fragrances that I'm gonna share with you, I sold. I didn't use any bottles up, unfortunately. So the first fragrance that left my collection is none other than Amouage Interlude Woman. Now, I really liked this fragrance, so I thought. I got it sometime last year. I really liked it, but I didn't reach for it that much. And so I pulled it out. I was gonna put it on a list of like heavy hitter fragrances, but I figured I needed to wear it. And then I read a review of it and tried to wear it, and I could not get the review out of my mind. It ruined it for me. People were saying it smelled like cat pee. Now I knew that that was a claim of it before, but it had never smelled like that to me. But once I read it this time around and sprayed it and like stuck my nose in it, I got the cat pee, and then I could not get it out of my head, and so I could not wear it. I had to scrub it off. So I'm sorry to share that with y'all because I hope that doesn't like kill it for y'all, because it is a beautiful fragrance. It's quite unique. But once I got that in my head, I could not get it out. I could have let it sit here a while longer, and then I probably would have been able to wear it again. But I already had not been reaching for it a lot anyway. Although it was a beautiful fragrance, I just didn't find myself reaching for it for a lot. So I went ahead and passed that one on. The next fragrance that I got rid of was Dior Spice Blend. I did briefly mention this in my Dior video. If you have not checked that out, definitely do. But the reason I ended up getting rid of this fragrance is just because I felt like every time I wore it, I didn't quite enjoy it. It was a beautiful, spicy fragrance, but to me, when I wore it on my skin, it felt a bit too masculine for me. And I could layer it with Kayali Vanilla. I really liked it layered like that, but I don't like to have fragrances that I feel like I need to layer. Like if I layer them, cool, but I don't want to feel like I have to layer it, especially when it's an expensive fragrance. If it's like a, $30 fragrance or something that I bought specifically for layering, or even like a $50 fragrance or something I bought for layering, that's a different story. But I feel like the other fragrances that I wear, I want to be able to wear them alone if I want to, So I ended up passing that one on as well, or not passing it on, selling it. So the next fragrance I actually would have included in this haul, but it did not work. I immediately got rid of it after a day. So the fragrance I'm talking about is Bond No. 9 New Bond Street. Now, this was my first fragrance from Bond No. 9, and it's actually been on my wish list for well over a year. The bottle is beautiful in my opinion. I love the red like cheetah print. And I've seen it so many times on like Marshalls and TJ Maxx for like $80. So that should have been a hint. But when I read the notes, it sounded like something I would like. And just because it's not like a crowd pleaser doesn't mean it's not gonna work for me. So that fragrance had chestnut in it. I don't really remember what else, but the chestnut is what really stands out to me. It also had some lactonic type notes in it. I don't know if it was milk or cream or whatever. But when I got that one, I couldn't resist. I had to wear it. And I wore it to church, and it drove me crazy. It gave me this sick feeling. The milkiness in it mixed with the chestnut was just not working for me at all. And I don't know why, because I like chestnut, I like milky type fragrances, but the way this one was done, or maybe the other stuff in it, it was giving me like want to throw up vibes. So as soon as I got home from church, I scrubbed that thing off and listed it on Mercari. Now, I have heard people say that it was a polarizing scent. So if you love it, you know, good for you. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to offend you. I just could not stand it. It was gone. Bye-bye. So yeah. And then the last fragrance that I ended up getting rid of is actually kind of for the same reason. I actually featured this one in a haul. This is from Maison Lancôme, and it's Lavender Trianon. So this fragrance is a milky lavender scent that people say smells like lavender milk and cookies. And that just sounds amazing to me. And this fragrance, when I smelled it during my haul, I knew it was kind of odd because there's a green note in it, and then it's milky, and then it's lavender. But I thought it would be something that would grow on me because like sometimes I would smell it and really like it, and then sometimes I would smell it and think it smelled weird. And I just got tired of trying to force it because I wore it like several times to bed. I was waiting for it to get colder, and just I didn't want to get rid of it because I know it's well loved by a lot of people. But the last time I tried it was the last straw. For some reason, the milkiness just got to be too much on me. And I didn't enjoy it. Like I was wearing it to bed, and I had to get up and try to get some of it off of me because as I was laying in bed, I was just like, this is not right. It just smells like something's not right in it. And so at that point, I decided to go ahead and sell it. And so that's why I mentioned earlier, Lavender Extreme now had a place in my collection because it's another lavender fragrance to replace that Lavender Trianon. I definitely like it more. And yeah, so I know, I feel like that's a very controversial one because I know a lot of people love that scent, but it just didn't work for me. So those were the fragrances that I added and a few that were subtracted from my collection. Like I said, I will have a part 2 with just some fragrances, new fragrances in my collection. No more that I'm getting rid of, unless something changes between here and then. But so far, I just think it's gonna be some more fragrances that I've added. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel, have your notification bells on, follow me on Instagram for the sneak peeks. If you guys have tried any of the fragrances that I mentioned, whether you love them or don't like them, definitely let us know in the comments below. I cannot wait to play with my new little goodies. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.